Have you ever decided to start healing, and suddenly everything feels worse instead of better? You start setting boundaries, speaking up, choosing yourself, and instead of feeling peaceful, you feel guilty, awkward, and even a little lonely. It almost feels like you were happier before you started working on yourself. Here's the thing nobody really talks about. For a long time, you've been living in patterns that felt normal, even if they weren't good for you. Maybe you were the one who always said yes, even when you were tired. Maybe you were the one who kept the peace, even when something hurt you. Maybe you were the one who stayed quiet so nobody would be upset. And because you did that for so long, everyone around you got used to that version of you. But when healing begins, things start to change. You start saying things like, "Actually, I can't do that today. That didn't sit right with me. I need time for myself." And suddenly, everything feels uncomfortable, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're doing something different. Think about it like cleaning a very messy room. At first, it actually looks worse. You pull everything out of the closet, clothes on the bed, shoes on the floor, things everywhere. And for a moment you think, maybe I should have just left it alone. But the mess was already there. You're just finally seeing it. Healing works the same way. When you start paying attention to your feelings, when you stop ignoring what hurts, when you start choosing yourself, all the things you pushed down for years start coming up. And that part can feel really uncomfortable. You might feel guilt for saying no. You might feel strange when you stop over-explaining yourself. You might notice some relationships shifting. And sometimes the hardest part is realizing that the version of you who kept everyone comfortable was the version that kept you uncomfortable. But here's the beautiful part. Every time you choose honesty over silence, every time you choose rest over overworking, every time you choose peace over people-pleasing, you're slowly creating a life where you don't have to shrink to fit in. And freedom always feels unfamiliar at first, especially if you've spent years surviving instead of living. If this feels familiar, it doesn't mean you're failing at healing. It actually means you're in the middle of it. And the middle is always the messiest part. But on the other side of that discomfort is something really powerful. A version of you that feels lighter. A version of you that doesn't apologize for existing. A version of you that finally feels at home in your own life. If this message spoke to you, follow for more. Real conversations about healing, growth, and becoming the version of yourself you've been waiting for. And send this video to someone who's learning to choose themselves too.